This video is all about solving proportions. So remember that a proportion is when one fraction equals another fraction. In order to do this, there's a few different options for us. One, we can do this thing called cross multiplying. But in order to really understand what's happening, I'd really like you to think about what are these denominators and how can we get rid of them. In this case, this first example, it's pretty easy. My denominators are 3 and 9. I need to get x by itself. So I don't have to multiply by 9, because think ahead. If I multiply by 9, I'm going to have 3x. Does that help me to get x by itself? Not really. But if I want to get x by itself, all I need to do is get rid of the 3. On this side, I also have to multiply by 3. Whatever you do to the left side, you got to do to the right side. So reduce here, and we get that x is 4/3. That's it. Always think about how you can get x by itself. What do I need to do? Now, in number 2, this problem gets a little trickier. I need to get the x by itself, but there is no x that's all by itself at this point. I need to treat these as factors. I need to get the x plus 13 out of the denominator. So I need to multiply by x plus 13. That reduces. The left side I need to multiply by x plus 13. On the left I have x minus 11. On the right I have 2/3 x plus 13. Now, you probably don't like that so much. I can also multiply by 3/1 to get rid of that fraction. Notice that I'm adding parentheses because it's this entire side that's getting multiplied by 3. That really is 3x minus 33. On the right side, we really have 2x plus 26. Step back for a moment. Does that make sense? What I did was I first multiplied by x plus 13 to eliminate the fraction on the left. In the second step, I multiplied by 3 to eliminate the fraction that's in the right side. When really, all along, your first step, you could have multiplied by 3 and the x plus 13. That would be a common denominator for these two. Now, let's go ahead and finish solving. Subtract 2x, add 33, and you get x is 59. Remember to check this. All we do is we substitute. Does 59 minus 11 divided by 59 plus 13 reduce to 2/3? Well, that's 48 over 72. And that does reduce to 2/3 because 24 divides both of those. 24 is a factor of both of those. Okay, looking at number 3. Now remember that I can multiply both sides by the denominator. That will get rid of them. Another option is I can take the reciprocal of both sides. Now, to me, the reciprocal of both sides makes sense because these numerators are related. If instead of a 16 it was a 15, I wouldn't think that. But I know that if I multiply by 16 over 1, all of a sudden, my life becomes easier. Then I know that 3x equals negative 48. I move the 48 to the right side and the x to the left side. And then x is negative 16. Another option, you can always multiply by the common denominator. And you'll get something pretty similar. same equation as this one, just both sides have been multiplied by 4. Otherwise, it's the exact same thing. Okay, let's try another one. In this case, I can also get rid of my x in the denominator by multiplying by 2. I'm sorry, by multiplying by x minus 2. On the left side it becomes 16. On the right side it becomes 8 times x minus 2, which is 8x minus 16. Add the 16 and you end up with 32 equals 8x, x equals 4. Now, another option for this one is to, again, take the reciprocal. Now I can multiply both sides by 16 over 1 to get the x by itself. I end up with x minus 2 equals 2. A simpler version of getting x equals 4. It's your choice, really, but as we do more of these, I think you'll be able to make a smarter choice each time. Come up with something that works best for you. Now, in this one, I've got two fractions. Checking out my denominators here. It wouldn't make sense to multiply by 12. Wouldn't really make sense to multiply by 20. I would still have denominators left over on one side or the other. So I'm thinking, what do these two numbers have in common? What is a common multiple of 12 and 20? I know that it's 60. If I choose 60, it will reduce with the 12, and it will reduce with the 20. And I'll have something very easy to work with. Some of you will be able to do the distributing. Instead of writing out this step that I just did, you'll jump right to 15x minus 25 equals 18 minus 3x, and that's completely fine. Add the 3x, add the 25, divided by 18, x equals 43 over 18. I can't reduce either of those, so that's my final answer.